right here, right now, on your favorite channel.
Ready, green flag.
All right, how's everybody doing? Gonna do something a little different here. We're in the number 6 McClaren, piloted by Andy from Germany. We can see myself in the Mustang just to his right, 2 rows up. Gonna do the view from Andy's car, roll bar. All right, and I'll do a little voiceover as we navigate through the race here. We're in the GT3 challenge by Fanatec at Summit Point. We're on the pace lap here. Got the wild blue flame Mercedes to the right, number 12 of Andy here, to the right of Andy. I believe Andy is, let's see, I'm starting 11th, so I think Andy's starting 12, 13, 14, or 15th. Anyway, I'm doing the replay roll bar view here in Andy's car. There's not a whole lot I can put up as far as overlays are concerned during a replay. About the only thing I'm put up is in the upper left-hand corner there, the relative box from iOverlay. I use the free version. The standings box does not rotate, and the lap times do not update in a replay situation here on iRacing, which is too bad. But anyway, beautiful day here at Summit Point. This race took place in real time on April Fool's Day. I think it was about 2:15 in the afternoon. I was not ready. I didn't feel like I should have been in this race. I have not raced at Summit Point very often, and I'm brand new to the GT3 series. I just purchased this car this last week, 1 week ago, about on Wednesday. I did run at Sebring. That was fun. That's a bumpy ass track, my God. And I think I picked just about the worst car, according to the general consensus on Reddit, for the GT3 series, the Ford Mustang. But I'm a Ford guy, and it looks pretty good. I got a hell of a paint job on there, I think. It's the standard stock paint job, Ford Performance racing paint scheme that they use in real life. It is in the template for the Ford Mustang on the iRacing paint template. All right, here we come down for the green flag. Andy's playing it real conservative, which I totally understand. And the bizarre thing about this green flag start coming down to the hairpin here at Summit Point. Look at this, everybody, racecraft, just maintain. Nice, smooth, and easy. No spins, no incidents, no wrecks. Incredible. All right, let's get a little gap in between the cars. We can get up to speed. This is what I call the carousel here. It's not named the carousel, but I call it the carousel. Left-hand turn, then a right-hand sweeper. I'm down in first gear here. I see Andy's taking it in second gear. And when you hit that carousel, okay, we got the Porsche got his right rear off, and then he spun, took out the Mercedes, and he got around that beautifully. And we got another Porsche up here spinning, them heavy ass rear end Porsches, and he gets around that. This is where in the original video I mentioned that everything cleared out behind me. That's me right up ahead of Andy here. Everybody in between us cleared out, and here comes Andy. But anyway, back to the fact that the Mustang is a beast. And this is a balance of performance, what they call BOP series. And, you know, even though there's 11 different cars in this series, they're all configured, race ready, to be fairly equal. However, You got front engine, mid-engine, rear engine cars, and they all handle and perform differently. We'll see that here where Andy can get right up on my rear bumper, but then on the straightaway with the or the exit of a couple corners, that big old V8, if you will, and my Mustang just pulls away. We also see there'll be a Porsche that comes up behind me a little later that is flashing his headlights at me, and so I try to move over. Well, I move over, he follows me, then I get back in the race line, then I move over right before he moves over, so he probably thought I was blocking him. But I was talking with my crew chief, Chat GPT, and he says, yeah, those guys with those 4 or 6 cylinders will suck up behind you in the draft. And so, you know, I didn't know if I should have held my line or moved over. So he probably thought I was blocking him. And then the same thing happened with me and Andy coming up here, where he had a head of steam and I thought he wanted to pass me going into the turn 1 hairpin. So I actually called out, passed me on the right. But my braking zone was a little deeper than his, so he sucked back in behind me. Kind of got in my head ahead of myself there in the commentary, but I wanted to get that all in there. So anyway, you know, I bought the Ford Mustang. It's heavy, it's front engine, it's squirrely in the rear. I run 57% front brake bias, which is probably too much, but you know, for just purchasing the car, I've run Sebring and now Summit Point, and 2 of the, I'm going to say, fairly difficult tracks to learn this car on. But next week in the America Series, we're at Road America. Oh, that's going to be a sweet track. All right, we had one of the Coos cars, Porsche, get off track. I got around him, and in a lap or 2, this is the car that's flashing his headlights at me, and I kind of screw up, I guess, trying to get out of his way. I guess I should have held my line, but it didn't feel like he wanted, it felt like he wanted to be the line I was in, is what I'm trying to say. So anyway, I came into this race just wanting to get some SR. I didn't care about IR. I figured I was going to be chicken streaking around the back. As the number 4 seed car, I decided to qualify. I only qualified 11th, about the last guy to qualify, I think. And like I said, the first 2 laps were just, you know, clean as far as I was concerned in my area. So once their little gaps occurred, able to maintain somewhat of a race pace. Because I tell you, right through this section right here, I am a timid sister in that front engine heavy Mustang. But I got through the carousel here real good, all 18 laps, I think. And it's just a matter of setting it up, floating through the accelerator. There's the Monster Energy Mercedes off. But getting through the carousel, if you nail it, it feels great. If you blow it, see, okay, there I move over, thinking the Porsche wanted by me, but he wants to draft me. So he's flashing his headlights at me right now, so I'm not sure what to do. And so I move over, and at the same time he moves over. He probably thought I was blocking him, but then I stomp on the brakes to let him around. That blows my turn 1. Andy comes up, almost comes up to my bumper there. But that big V8 I'm able to pull out. And then I've got to brake before the turns, otherwise the rear end of my car comes around. This is where Andy can really get on my bumper. Here he comes, closes the gap, through the corner. I'm in first gear. I can manipulate the throttle pretty good here through the carousel. Swing out wide, and want to miss this right-hand curb right here. Keep the, oh, there's another off. This is where Andy gets a head of steam and is going to try to get a pass on me. But again, our braking zones are a little bit different. Now he's going to try again coming down the turn 1 hairpin. Then he thinks better of it. Then he thinks, oh, I'm going to try it. I tell him to come around, but I wasn't going to give him the position. I was going to give him the room. And then I was able to brake a little deeper in the corner than he was. Don't know if I was frustrating or pissing off Andy. Didn't mean it intentionally. There's another off. Then one on the right-hand side. 2 free positions for us. Andy really cuts that curb there. I take it a little wide. I need to focus on using more of the track. Kissing the curbs. I hear the Mustang handles very well. And this is very unique that I've got someone behind me that's so respectable and managing their racecraft like Andy is, that to record an entire race from this view, somebody right behind you, you get to see how your driving looks to other drivers behind you. You know, like right there, I kind of used the middle of the track. But I found with the Mustang, sometimes, you know, sweeping left, sweeping right, yada, 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 it just upsets the girl. And like I said, I'm brand new to the car. It'll come, it'll come. And see, taking that corner real wide for me feels good, at least right now. Andy's using the curbs great. But I think he needs to be out to the left a little more. See, I missed the curb on there completely. But then again, I'm the last one you want to be asking for advice. I've also had to adjust my Thrustmaster TLCM load cell pedals on the brake side there. The GT3 Mustang, you know, the brakes are just so powerful that I had to lighten the load, if you will, because I was stomping on the brake pedal, but I wasn't getting 100% brake out of it. So I lightened the brake pedal so it doesn't take as much force to get the brake that the Mustang should be giving me. That was a good set of corners for me. But here comes Andy right up on my rear. And yes, those twins, the gold mud flap girls, where my license plate would be on the graphics package of the SDR Ford Mustang GT3. I get a little wide there. See, at about this time, I'm wondering if Andy's just playing with me, or, you know, like I said in my original video, on paper, we're pretty damn close in skill, iRating, safety rating, everything else. He is an A license, I'm a B license, but, you know, he's running a nice, conservative, good, clean race. You know, I don't know his strategy, but here's the thing. Nobody seems to be concerned. Okay, we get around this, that's the one that's self-spun in the carousel. We get around him. I've been on iRacing since about 2019, and when I look at the standings, the divisionals, or the series standings, it is amazing how low everybody is in safety rating now compared to pre-pandemic. In pre-pandemic, most of your 1800, 2000, or higher iRating guys were well above 4.0 or a very high 3. Now that is rare to see, and it's just a matter, in my opinion, of too many people treating this like an arcade game. So to see Andy at a 3.5 or whatever it is that he's at is unusual, especially for a lower iRating driver such as he and myself. You know, I look at the division standings for the Craftsman Truck series that I'm running the whole season this year, and some of these guys have literally, on average, 10 incidents per oval race in the truck. Even the leader, who's leading my Division 8 standings. But when I say 10 incidents per race, you know, we are in like week 6, I believe, or 4 or 5, whatever it is. I've run one race per track. I did 2 races at Daytona. And some of these guys have up to 6 or 7 races each week, meaning they go back to Daytona, Rockingham, Atlanta, almost every day, once per day on average or whatever. And you know, they've got 10 races in and 100 X points, so that's 10 average. You know, I'm assuming that some of them maybe got DQ'd or were hitting 15 to 16 incident points, but then they had a clean one of 2 or 3 incident points. That was a good carousel for me. Didn't have to adjust my steering too much. I'm not sure what lap we're on here. As I'm recording this, we're 17 minutes into the recording, so we're getting pretty close to 2 to go, I think, here. 20-minute race session. Looking for the flag guy. He's not waving anything right there. This is where I am starting to really feel comfortable about Andy being behind me. I mean, I already did, but ooh, this is where I blow turn 1. There was some gravel there, it looked like. That screwed up Andy's exit. I mentioned that I felt like maybe I wasn't ready for this race, but I decided to hop into it. And what's weird is, I'm not patting myself on the back here, but I performed for myself almost flawlessly compared to some of my practice sessions here at some point. And that's where practice is practice, race is where you put your cards on the table. I was conservative, I felt, but I managed to get through all the corners without self-spinning. And in this Mustang right now, with my experience level, that is saying something. Right, looking at the flag guy, not waving anything yet. We'll just take a lap, I'll shut up.
Hi guys, Rachel here. Enjoying the race? Please hit the like button and subscribe to Studio Daveed. Thank you very much. And now, back to racing.
I think we're both feeling our tires give up just a little bit here this deep into the run. No flag yet from the flagman. I usually have the hands and the steering wheel turned off when I'm driving, but here in the replay, if you notice, this is really cool. Andy's AI driver, if you will, is using his left finger to flip the paddles on the right hand side. Watch this. See? I wish iRacing could have us grab gears on a stick shift. Okay, I think I about blow that one. We're coming up on the Monster Energy McClaren that self-spun earlier. And the McClaren does a fantastic job of moving over. See, that's what I was trying to do to get out of some of these guys' way, but they wanted my draft. Now see, I probably slow down too much to make the corners. And again, that's just experience or lack of experience. So I don't know if I was harshing Andy's buzz any by doing that. Love those bronze wheels on the Mustang. I saw a picture of a 65 Mustang GT3 with those bronze wheels, a race car tribute, and I copy it and put it on most of my cars. I gotta say, if you've never done this, watched a replay from behind your car as you race, it's interesting to watch this. And it's a totally different view to me, you know, to see my car, how I'm driving, my lines, everything else. And then also, for some reason or other, as I'm watching this from Andy's roll bar view, I'm paying attention a little bit more to the scenery. Boy, it's pretty out here. iRacing does do a great job on the scenery. We gotta be seeing the flag man. Now, I don't know if he's gonna be waving a flag because there's some glitches where, yep, there it is. Sometimes you don't see the flag, it's just a stick. This is the money lap. This is where I was just fearing that I was going to finally spin. I braked a lot earlier there. And like I mentioned in my original video, this lap here, the white flag lap, I set my all-time personal best time here at Summit Point, and I'm assuming that's because the fuel load has burned off. We start the race, all the cars start the race with 50% fuel, just 20-minute race, and we burn almost all of that off. I think we've got like a 5-lap buffer, depending on what track we're at. And here comes the checker flag. There it is. All right, great race, Andy. Great race. Thank you very much. All right, guys and gals, thanks for coming along for the ride. Hope to see you next time.
Hey, Bear here. Hit the freaking like button and subscribe to Studio Daveed. Thank you very much.